Different name, different face, same story. Every relationship ends the same way. You tell yourself this time will be different, but somehow you've ended up with the same type of person again. Emotionally unavailable, critical, unreliable. Whatever your pattern is, it's repeating. And you're starting to wonder, is it them or is it me? The answer is both. Let's talk about why you keep attracting the same type, and more importantly, how to break the cycle. This pattern isn't bad luck, and it's not a coincidence. It's psychology. Your brain is wired to seek out what's familiar, even when familiar is painful. This is called repetition compulsion, a concept from psychoanalysis, where you unconsciously recreate past relational dynamics in an attempt to resolve them. Essentially, you're attracted to people who mirror the emotional environment of your childhood because your brain is trying to heal old wounds. The problem is, you can't heal by recreating the wound. You end up stuck in a loop, choosing partners who confirm your deepest fears about love, that it's conditional, unreliable, or unavailable. Breaking this cycle requires awareness, intentionality, and often deep inner work. Let's break down why this happens. Reason 1. You're drawn to what feels familiar, not what's healthy. Your brain equates familiar with safe. If you grew up with a parent who was emotionally distant, critical, or unpredictable, that dynamic feels like home, even if home wasn't actually safe. When you meet someone who's emotionally available, stable, and kind, your nervous system might interpret that as boring, untrustworthy, or even threatening. Why? Because it's unfamiliar. You don't have a reference point for healthy love, so it doesn't register as attraction. Instead, you're drawn to the person who triggers that familiar anxiety, the one who's hot and cold, hard to read, or emotionally unavailable. Your brain thinks, this is what love feels like, because it mirrors your earliest experiences. The cycle continues, because you're not choosing partners based on compatibility. You're choosing them based on unconscious familiarity. Reason 2. You're trying to prove you're worthy of love if you grew up feeling like you had to earn love by being perfect, meeting expectations, or suppressing your needs. You might unconsciously seek out partners who make you work for their affection. The emotionally unavailable person, the one who withholds validation, becomes a challenge. Your brain says, if I can just get them to love me, I'll finally prove I'm worthy. This is repetition compulsion in action. You're recreating the childhood dynamic where love was conditional, hoping that this time, if you try hard enough, you'll finally win. But here's the painful truth. No amount of external validation will heal the wound of not feeling inherently worthy. You can't earn unconditional love from someone who's incapable of giving it. The cycle only breaks when you stop trying to prove your worth and start believing you're already worthy, just as you are. Reason 3. Your attachment style is attracting its opposite anxious and avoidant attachment styles are magnetically drawn to each other, creating what's called the anxious avoidant trap. If you have anxious attachment, you crave closeness and reassurance. Avoidant individuals who value independence and distance feel like a challenge, and their withdrawal triggers your pursuit. This dynamic feels intense, which your brain mistakes for passion or chemistry. Meanwhile, the avoidant person is drawn to your emotional availability because it allows them to stay connected without getting too close. You do the emotional labor, and they maintain control. This creates a toxic cycle. The more you pursue, the more they withdraw, the more they withdraw, the more you pursue. Both people are stuck in their attachment patterns, and the relationship becomes about managing anxiety rather than building genuine intimacy. Breaking this pattern means recognizing it and choosing partners who are securely attached or actively working towards security. Reason 4. You haven't healed your core wounds until you heal the wounds that drive your patterns. You'll keep attracting the same type of person. If you believe deep down that you're unlovable, you'll unconsciously choose partners who confirm that belief. If you fear abandonment, you'll choose people who are unreliable. If you don't trust yourself, you'll choose people who undermine your sense of reality. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. Your unhealed wounds create blind spots. You might logically know someone is wrong for you, but your wounded inner child is running the show, desperate to recreate the past and rewrite the ending. Healing requires doing the inner work, therapy, self-reflection, reparenting yourself, and learning to meet your own emotional needs. Only when you stop looking for someone to fix what's broken inside will you start choosing partners who are actually good for you. If you've been stuck in this cycle, here's what you need to do. First, stop blaming yourself. This pattern developed as a survival mechanism when you were too young to choose. Second, get radically honest about your patterns. Write down the common traits of your past partners. What wounds are you trying to heal through them? Third, do the work. Therapy, journaling, self-compassion, whatever it takes to heal the belief systems driving your choices. And finally, be willing to date differently. When you meet someone who feels stable and kind, but doesn't give you that anxious spark, don't dismiss them. That boring feeling might actually be safety, something your nervous system isn't used to. Healing means choosing the unfamiliar on purpose. You deserve a partner who doesn't require you to prove your worth, who shows up consistently, and who meets you with the same energy you give. The cycle breaks when you stop choosing what's familiar and start choosing what's healthy.